Good afternoon and welcome to another exciting episode of Groovy Van Picker. Today's episode, I decided to give you a tour of my groove-wagon. Since this is a van picking dwelling channel, I figured today I will show you the van part of the Groovy Van Picker show. And so, what I'm going to show you, I have two vans. This is a microphone, by the way. It just sounds better. So I have two vans. I have a 69 Ford E-300 and a 71 Chevy G20. Okay. And it's best to have a backup. And I have both of my vans. I'm getting them ready to live in. Now, I can camp out very comfortably in either van for a good week. I have clothes, food, stove, TV, DVD player, crapper, the whole shebang. Solar panels, auxiliary battery. So, but both of them still have a little bit of work before they are exactly where I want them. So today, what I'm going to show you is what I have so far in my 1969 groove-wagon, which is in pretty fair shape. I paid about $400 for the thing. The guy wanted $500, and it needed a battery and stuff. I told the guy, okay, I'll give you $400 cash. I drag it home, won't even start it up. Well, he took it, so I took it. So I gave him the cash, drug the thing home, found a battery. Here's a funny side story. There was a gas can in the van, and the previous owner, or the guy who was representing him, said, yeah, we need that to start it up sometimes. Well, I took it home, pulled the choke out, did the old Texas two-step on the gas pedal. Boom, it fired right up, and it sounded good. So, now, since I've had it, I did have to do some work to it, including all that I've put in the back, but I've also had to put a valve job on it. Easy pickings. And it still does need a little bit more work. I got to put the van was born without power steering. They didn't put power steering in these until 1971. Well, one of the previous owners went to the junkyard and put power steering in it. They pulled this power steering out of like a 72 to 74. Well, the power steering doesn't work, so I got to go and get the parts to put the power steering back in it. But that I can do anytime. You know, it's not one of those things that's on top of my list. So, I will go ahead and show you my 1969 Ford groove-wagon. So, let's take a look. Well, this is it. It is a groovy 1969 Ford Econoline van E-300. TV antenna, CB radio antenna. Right now I got 45 watts of solar panels, and it does all right. Here's the interior. My work bag. As you can see, I got some shag carpet because a van of this vintage is required to have shag carpet. Sun visor came with the van. Here's the driver's seat. It's kind of a mess, kind of thrashed. Right up in here, I have a police scanner, my Cobra 148 GTL CB. Those are from the swap meet when I sell. There's a little miniature van I keep on my dashboard. We're gonna get a better picture of that scanner. There it is. Yeah, light's all wrong. Now these seats actually recline, but this one's kind of messed up. That one there reclines, turns all the way around. And here's my dog house. The top of the dog house lifts up, so I don't have to pull the whole thing out if I just want to drop some transmission fluid in it or adjust the carburetor. There's the engine. That's the biggest battery I could find, but it's served me well for the past few years. I think I'm about finally due for another one. Little 302 motor. That horn, some people love it, some people hate it. Okay, this is the back of my van. I do have a portable crapper, even though I don't like to take a crap in my van. But you know what, if I'm camped someplace and I'm usually not exactly wearing my Sunday go to meeting clothes, you need to dress in some sweats and it's cold, so you know, if I gotta go, I have that. This couch pulls out into a bed. Down there I have some clothes and some other items. Right up in there is my charge controller for my solar panels. The battery is on the back of this panel right here. I have a little inverter right there, but I never use it. I have storage in there. This also opens. And I even have a little TV set in here that runs off that antenna. Only thing is, it's the middle of the afternoon, there's nothing on. This little sink, I'm fixing to redo it. but it does work. Then I have a little catalytic heater back there. That thing is nice and warm. It'll chase you out of here. That's my little shortwave radio. I have a DVD player back there with a whole bunch of DVDs. One of these days I might even watch them. And that is another project. I got to hook up that fan and straighten out these wires. Now there's my bed already pulled out. My blankets are back there, and I also have some things to put over the window, shades to keep light out. Bed's kind of comfy, and usually I pull that portable crapper and I put it right there for when I do have to use it at night. I have 10 gallons of good drinking water back here, and I'm working on putting a gray water tank in this thing eventually. I also have this privacy curtain that goes across along with my shades that I put over the windows. These come off, and these lights, little Harbor Frightening LED lights. I got 2 sets of those, and they work perfect for night. And this chair just swing around so we could all sit here and watch the Idiot Box or hang out. Right back in here is where I keep my auxiliary battery. Even have another light. I gotta give me a proper deep cycle battery. That is my jack, my 4-way, jack stands, tire chains. This blanket I keep in case I gotta do some work on the underneath the van or something like that. In here I have my stove, all kinds of food and cooking utensils. I'm not going to pull all that out. You've seen stove and cooking. You guys have all seen stoves and cooking utensils before, so it's nothing extraordinary. You got to have a toolbox. Okay, you just got to have tools. Basic tool set. You know, wrenches, pliers, spare set of tail lights because the junkyard had some. You know, typical stuff that people keep in their vehicle toolbox. Yes, I do carry oil, transmission fluid. And so this area back here, I can get to down here to my stove by lifting that hatch up that I showed you, or over here that door. So that's the inside. Down under, down below, you can tell somebody has done some work down there. They put in some spring helpers and even a torsion sway bar back in there. They have header pipes. You can tell they put in a little bit of work, the previous owners did. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little tour of my groove-wagon. As you can tell, it does still need a little bit of work before it is exactly where I want it. But as it sits right now, I can live in it comfortably. I have camped out in it numerous times, because right now I am living in a motorhome on some property up in my secret location while I'm working on these vans and getting my swap meet stuff all, perfect. And so, but there's been times when, I didn't feel like going home after work. Either because of the weather, if it's snowing and I didn't feel like putting chains on, I'll just pull up the road and take a snooze. Easy. Or if I'm pulling a double shift and I gotta come back in a few hours, okay, yeah, I'll pull up the road, take a snooze. I am working on putting a shower in here. I'm getting a lot of the parts, and I got it rolling around in my head of how I'm going to do it. And so when I do that, it'll be a lot better. And I'm doing both of my vans pretty much the same motif. So yeah, that was that's where my van is at right now. Now, there are a number of things that I do want to do to this van to improve it. I do want to get a TV DVD player combo like my other van has. I do want to upgrade my auxiliary battery. I do want to do some improving on the insulation a little bit. I am going to put a shower in it and some more storage and shelving. And I even have a top carrier to put more stuff in it. It's just right now where I work at, we have a parking garage, so it's just more feasible to kind of keep that so my van can fit in the parking garage for right now. And like I said, it is little pieces, one piece at a time. I do want to get me a better front seat because the driver's seat is kind of held together with baling wire and duct tape. And I do want to put some better, I'm going to put a sunroof in it. And then on the top, I'm going to rearrange the top, put the solar panels a little bit back, get rid of that ugly looking boomerang antenna. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I do want to do to this van. But like I said, right now, I can live in it very comfortably. I even keep a good supply of food, a good supply of water, and a few days worth of clothes. And yes, I know that people might see my van and suspect that I'm living in it. Whoop-de-fucking-do. That's where I'm at with there, okay? Like I said in the previous video, these people can't even run their own lives. I'll be damned if they'll run mine. That's an old hippie song. That old hippie song makes a lot of sense. When, yeah, I mean, I even had people here see my van, see what I had in it when I had the door open or something, and suspect that I was some evil van dweller. Oh, the humanity. Okay. Let them suspect whatever the hell they want. I mean, until they can show me a policy at work that says that I cannot have a vehicle that is decked out like this, then it's tough. And if they do make that policy, well, there's a song that Johnny Paycheck used to sing back in 1978 called "Take This Job and Shove It." And that is exactly what I'll tell them. If they start saying, oh, you can't have this van, you can't have that. No. I'm not going to change my ways or my lifestyle for my job. I've done that for a long time now. So now if somebody ever has a problem with how I live my life when I'm off the clock, they can stuff it. Oh yeah. But there were a couple people around here who tried to spread a rumor that I was living in my van and blah, 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 even here. You know, I told you the story about the last place that I was working where I almost got busted for suspicion of van life. The difference is over here, number one, I am the security guard who's pretty much a senior officer here. Number two, the manager here, she's like me, and her question is, you know, is he on the property? You know, what does that have to do with his job? So, yeah, here it's only an issue with a few people. And there are a few stalkers here who like to, you know, point out where they see me and whatnot. But for the most part, the manager here is like, you know, so what? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little van tour. And have a good one.